திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். ஆடும் பரிவேல் அணி சேவல் என பாடும் பணியே பணியாய் அருள்வாய் தேடும் கயமா முகனை செருவில் சாடும் தனி யானை சகோதரனே. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். பூழியர்கோன் பொழித்த புகழியர்கோன் கடல் போற்றி ஆழிமிசை கல்மிதப்பில் அணைந்த பிரான் அடி போற்றி வாழி திருநாவலூர் வன்தொண்டர் பதம் போற்றி ஊழிமலி திருவாத ஊரர் திருத்தாள் போற்றி. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். தென்னாடுடைய சிவனே போற்றி, என் நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி, ஏகம்பத்துரையந்தாய் போற்றி, பாகம் மண்ணுரு ஆனாய் போற்றி, பராய்த்துறை மேவிய பரணே போற்றி, சிராப்பள்ளி மேவிய சிவனே போற்றி, அண்ணாமலையமன்னா போற்றி, கண்ணாரமுத கடலே போற்றி, காவாய் கனகத்திரளே போற்றி, கைலை மலையானையே போற்றி போற்றி. வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோஹரா. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். அண்ட சராசரங்களுக்கெல்லாம் அதிபதியாக வழங்கக்கூடிய முருகப்பெருமானுடைய ஒப்பற்ற பெருங்கருணையினாலே ஞானத்திரள் ஆங்கில தொடராக த ஹோலி டெய்டிஸ் ஆஃப் சைவம் என்கிற தலைப்பில் நம்முடைய திருக்கோயில்களிலே எழுந்தருளி இருக்கின்ற திருமூர்த்தங்களை பற்றிய தொடர் ஆங்கில தொடராக நம்முடைய அன்பிற்குரிய கத்தார் தம்பதியினர் மிஸ்ஸஸ் அண்ட் மிஸ்டர் சரவணன் அவர்களுடைய பெரு விருப்பத்திற்கும் அவருடைய பேராவலுக்கும் உட்பட்டு நிகழ்த்துகின்ற இந்த தொடரிலே இன்றைய தினம் நாம் தொடர்ந்து சிவத்தலங்களை பற்றிய சிந்தனையை தொடர்வதற்கு திருவருள் கூட்டியிருக்கிறது. The primary deity of any Shivan temple is a formless form called a Shivalingam. Even though the Shivalingam is consisting of basically three parts, the one is at the top, it is called the Banam. The another one is the circular holding of the Banam. And the third part is the pedestal which rests on the ground. Now, these three parts, as we already discussed, may be representing the creation, the protection, and the destruction. That is, it represents the ruling of Brahma, Vishnu and Uruthiran. Another notification, another type of explanation given for formless form, that is Shivalingam, is the 36 tattvas, that is the tools offered by the Lord Shiva for the soul to live in this world and to interact in this world, to get experiences. The soul has been given a human being is given about 36 tools, 31 interior and 5 externally driving tools. So altogether 36 tattvas, tools. The whole formless form Shivalingam represents the tattvas. Starting from the ground level, the Anma Tattvam 24 connected with the Thula body and Sushama body. and then it extends to the Purudan, that is the Vidya Tattvam, the center portion, and the top portion is the Shiva Tattvam. 5 tools, Shiva Tattvam. We must be able to appreciate that Shiva Tattvam never they come as tools for a human being directly. As a matter of fact, they are being used by the Almighty's power so that the soul in the body with its tools inseparable. Tools, some of the tools are separable in every birth. Some of the tools are inseparable. The inseparable tools are fixed in Sushama and Adi Sushama bodies. As a matter of fact, we are talking only about, or we are concerned only about the Thula body, that is the external body which directly associates with this world. Of course, all the experiences are through the 5 senses, eye, ear, nose, and then tongue, and then the skin of the body. They are directly in contact with the Prapancham or the world, and they carry the information to the soul through the Sushama body. So, all the data received are processed, and then in turn they are again colored according to the deeds and its results being stored in Buddhi Tattvam of the soul. So, we should not think, or we should not be under the impression that the various forms or formless form in a temple, they have abundant measure of meanings, abundant number of informations, abundant number of messages they are carrying. See, for example, we have been discussing the Lord Nararaja, Lord Dakshinamurti. A lot of messages are discussed with the deity of Nararaja, deity of Dakshinamurti, deity of Pikshadanar. All these things we discussed with a lot of messages. Even though the form may be a common one or an ordinary one for a physical vision, but it carries a lot of information within it. Dakshinamurti, for example, it is the form of a potential energy. Nataraja, it is the representation of the kinetic energy. All these things are messages that are being propagated through the deities. So, deity is not only a deity or a form which is maybe a sculpture or a deity in the form of a metal, all these things. But they are not to be looked upon as simple idols or simple deities, but we must be able to appreciate the messages they are carrying. We have been discussing the Shivalingam. For example, we have been discussing Shivalingam in the Karuvarai, that is called the temple. In the temple, we must be understanding that the Karuvarai is only known as Koil. Karuvarai is Koil. The complex is known as Alayam. The complex may be having all other Sannadhis, including the Karpagraham. Even though it is named as Karpagraham, it is the temple on which the Vimanam will be there. So, the Vimanam represents that it is the primary deity of the temple. We will have Vimanam only for the primary deity, and only for the primary deity it should be given. Otherwise, suppose there are 2 or more deities in the same temple, and if they also have Vimanams, then it should be notified that the primary deity should have the biggest one and the other ones should be smaller. That rule should be followed. That is the rule they are following. Anyway, the only deity, that is the primary deity, will be having a Vimanam over it, so that when we enter the temple, we can understand where the Vimanam, there the primary deity. And only before the primary deity, there will be the flag hoisting thing and then Palibidam. All these things will be there only for the primary deity. You understand? Okay. Now, the Shivalingam, formless form, Aruruvam, in the Shivan temple should be the primary deity of any Shivan temple. In the last session, we discussed some of the special formless forms. The formless forms, that is Shivalingam, in some of the temples are special. For example, the 5 temples conforming to 5 elements. That is, 5 elements are the earth, the water, the fire, the wind, and then the space. All these things are 5 elements, basic elements, out of which each and every particle of this world is made up of. Take any particle in this world. Let it be a metal or a stone. Let it be a man-made one or a natural-made one. Let it be anything you take. It is made up of only 5 elements with different proportions and different forms. Take for example our body. It is made up of 5 elements. Even though the 5 elements may not be found in the nascent form or in their original form. Only the transferred or transformed status, we may be finding it. The water may be in the form of the liquid, may be in the form of blood in our physical body. For example, the earth may be present in the form of flesh. Likewise, all the 5 elements are in the Tattviham. They are called in Tamil, Tattva Tattviham. Tattviham means the transformed status. It will become the other one. It will become the other one. You understand? So, we discussed 5 temples. The one for earth is Kandeeswarar and Thiruvarur, and for water we discussed Thiruvannaikaval, and for fire we worshipped Thiruvannamalai, and for wind or air we darshaned Kalati, Thirukalati, and to hold everything within itself, the space, the one which holds everything within itself, and it spreads over everything. It spreads over everything. It is there in everything, and everything is in it. It is in everything, and everything is in it. That is why the space is compared to Veli, that is the natural state of the Almighty or Parambur. The Lord, how He is present? He is present in everything, and everything is present in Him. That is the theory behind Saiva Siddhantam, that it explains how the God is present. He is present everywhere. No, it is not complete. It is vague, very vague. The definition is very vague. He is everywhere. He is omnipresent. But in Saiva Siddhantam, it is very clearly saying it is everywhere and everything is in it. Or in the other form, Manivasagari used to say in a different form. The same theory he will interpret in a different form. Undrum niyallai, andri undri illai. Likewise he will say. So in the negated form he will be saying, and in the positive or affirmative form People will be saying in Saiva Siddhantam that everything is in him and he is in everywhere. He is in everything. So, for example, Lord Shiva is present in every atom or molecule, atom, or even if you can bisect an atom, if you are able to part it, if you are able to split it, if you are able to split the atom, if you split there, you will find a Shiva be existent there. So, likewise, he exists everywhere. Anuvirkulla anuvai. Likewise, Arunaganathar says, Anuvil anuvai, Anuvil asaivai, he says. So, the Almighty is present in every particle, in everything. There is no space without him. There is no article, no particle without his presence. So, likewise, the Lord of Lords, the God, represents in the temple is the main energy source. He is the main energy source. There is a Karuvare. He is the main energy source there. On all other Sannadhis, gods are only satellites. So, they receive energy from the main source and they help, they assist, or whatever you call the souls. So, God has nominated, God has selected, God has appointed, you call whatever you want, but they are all under the control of the God and being separate energy as satellites being energized by the main energy source. Okay, now let us come to the Sivalingam. Sivalingam being worshipped in a temple as the main deity, primary deity, and we will extend our explanation to some other special temples. All temples are not same. I have already told you that whenever you go to a temple, that temple is a specialized temple. It is special in some aspect. We may be aware of it or we may not be aware of it. Since we are not aware of it, we should not say that the temple is like another temple. No, Sivan temple is like another temple. Every temple is unique. Every Sivalingam is unique. Every Karuvare is unique. Everything is unique. So, likewise, we have different categories of temples. Different categories of temples. Tiriyana Sambandar, in one of his verses, he would have been very delighted to enlist the details. He will say, அட்டானம் என்று ஓதிய நாலிரண்டும் அழகன் துறை காணைத்தும் துறைகள் எட்டாம் திருமூர்த்தியின் காடு 9 குளமூன்றும் களமஞ்சும் பாடி 4 மட்டார் குழலாள் மலைமங்கை பங்கன் மதிக்கும் இடமாகிய பாழி 3 சிட்டானவன் பாசூர் என்றே விரும்பாய். மேலானவன், சிட்டானவன்னா மேலானவன். பாசூர் மேவிய என் செல்வம் இருக்கிறதே, அது பல்வேறு விதமான திருநாமங்களில் பல்வேறு இடங்களில் பல்வேறு விதமாக இருக்கிறது என்று சொல்லுகிறார். வீரட்டானம் என்று சொல்லக்கூடிய ஒரு 8 கோயிலில் இருக்கிறான் தெரியுமான்னு கேட்கிறார். அதில் சொல்லுகிற பொழுது திருக்கண்டியூர், திருக்கடவூர், திருப்பரியலூர், திருக்குறுக்கை, Thiruvirkudi, Thiruvathigai, Thirukovilur, Thiruvalhai. All these temples, 8 temples, are called Veeratanam, which we are going to see now. We are going to concentrate, we are going to focus our study on these 8 temples. But along with these 5 temples known as Atta Veeratanam, that is 8 temples where the mighty of Lord Shiva has been worshipped and shown and represented. And then he goes on explaining that அட்டானம் என்று ஓதிய நாள் இரண்டும் அழகன் குரை கா கா the temples with கா திருக்கோலக்கா திருக்குரங்குக்கா திருக்கோடிக்கா திருவானைக்கா திருநெல்லிக்கா. All these temples are a special type of temples with finishing as ka. Ka means sole, that is surrounded. Sole means gardens. So like temples are listed like this, grouped like this. Another group is, he says, Thurai, Anbilalandurai, Thirumandurai, Thiruparthurai, Kadappandurai, Venturai, Thirupariyalur, Penuperundurai, Thiru Arathurai, likewise Thurai. So it goes Thurai, எட்டு துறை, எட்டு வீரட்டானம் போல எட்டு துறைகள். There are 8 thurais. And then temples finishing with the card. They are all grouped under some comparison. காடு, திருச்சாய்க்காடு, திருவெண்காடு, திருத்தலைச்செங்காடு, திரு கொள்ளிக்கரைக்காடு, திருமறைக்காடு, திருநெறிக்கரைக்காடு, and then திருஆலங்காடு, திருவேற்காடு, திருத்தலையாலங்காடு. Likewise, காடு finished temples. Not only that, there are temples with the kulam, Kadikulam. Likewise, there are temples with the kulam. There are temples with the kalam, Thiruvetkalam, Nedungalam, Thiru Anjaikalam. Likewise, temples are like that. And then also temples with the Padi, Thiru Edurgol Padi, Thiru Padi, Thiru Validayam, Thiru Padi Validayam, and then Thiru Madavadi, Thiru IPart. Likewise it goes. So Shivan temples are listed, grouped under. That is why I am saying that all Shiva temples are not alike, they are unique. Every temple is unique with a special notification, with a special thing. So now today we are going to Jnanasambandar says that I have cited a sonnet by Jnanasambandar which is found in 2nd Tirumurai. He says, Sittanavan Pasur Endre Virumbai Arumbavangal. So these are all the temples where our sins are removed, our sins are nullified. So all Shiva temples are there to nullify our past deeds, and our whole life is being set up, our whole life is being monitored and result oriented of our deeds. So unless otherwise we are conscious about that, and we must understand that our life is going to be dictated only by the results of the deeds we have already committed, then we will go and surrender to Him. Oh my Lord, I have done lot of things without my knowledge, or I may not remember. Now I am surrendering to you. Kindly take care of me. Kindly forgive me. Forgive my sins. Remove them. I will be always with your side. I will be always under the patronage of your feet. Kindly take care of me. Likewise, if you go and surrender, then all your sins are washed away by the grace of Lord Shiva. That is the ultimate motive of the temple building. Nothing else. Why the temples are being built? The souls should come and surrender themselves, and there should be a place for their removal of their sins already committed. Is it not? So likewise, we are going to see, or we are going to focus our attention in these 8 temples named as Veeratanam. Why we call it as Veeratanam? Veeratanam means how to break it up. Veeratanam, that we have to break the sentence like this. Veeratanam. Veeratanam means, Veera means the bravery, the brave deed. And then Attanam means Atta plus Tanam. That is 8 places. Atta means 8. The 8 places where Shiva showed his might, where Shiva showed his bravo. Almost all the 8 are having Samhara Murtis. All the 8 places, Swami is in the form of Samhara Murti, almost. So, whenever we are afraid, we should not afraid of Samhara Murti. We must be afraid of our sins, the deeds we committed already. So, there he comes for our security, there he comes for our rescue. So, these 8 places, Veeratanam, these 8 places are worshipped Samhara Murtis as the primary deities. Even though the primary deity there may be Sivalingam once again, but it represents the Samhara Murti. So, now we have to list out all the 8 as you are now finding it in the list. I am just going to give you the 8 places that we are going to see. And Thirukandiyur, the Piraman Thalayai Koida Idam, Thirukovilur, Andhasuranai Kontra Idam, Thiruvathigai, Thiruvirkudi Eritha Idam, Thirupariyalur Takkan Thalayai Tadidda Thalam, Thiruvirkudi Salandarasuranai Vadetta Thalam, Thiruvalhuvur Kayamhasuranai Kondra Thalam, Thirukorukkai Manmadanai Eritha Thalam, Thirukkadaiyur Kutruvanai Udaithu Uyirparitha Thalam. See, all these things, all are violent attacks. Is it not? All the 8 temples, the Murti called Samhara Murti, that is, he will null away the evils. That is what it means. That's what it means. See, there are a lot of evils which dwell with us. Whether we drive them out or not, they will pretend to be away from us, and once we come to normal life, they will come and join us. They will be with us. We know we should drive them away. We should not give room for them. We should not allow them to live with us. All these things we know. But somewhere or other, when you are not careful, or when you are careless, they will come to you and they will beg you and they will be with you and you will pat them and they all will be with you. Is it not? So, how to drive them away? Always be with the thoughts of Lord Shiva. They will be away. You pray the Samhara Murtis. Now, let us first take the first temple, Veeratanam. I have given you the meaning of Veeratanam already. So, the first temple, Thiruvathigai. Thiruvathigai. People may write it down as Thiruvathigai. It is not Vadhigai, it is Thiruvathigai. Athigai Veeratanam. Athigai Veerateeswarar. The Murtam, the primary deity, is called Veerateeswarar. Veerateeswarar. See, Veerateeswarar in Athigai Veeratanam, this temple is very near to Bandruti. It is very near to Bandruti. If you go about 1 or 2 kilometers, if I am correct, 1 or 2 kilometers. Oh, it says that it is near Bandruti railway station. It is away from Bandruti railway station by about 2 kilometers. Only 2 kilometers. Very near to. Very near to this temple, Thiruvaimur is there on the eastern side, about 6 kilometers, where our Thirunavukkarasu Peruman, Thiru Avadaram Seitha Thalam, he was born in Thiruvaimur, which is very near to this Thiruvazhuvur. That is why from Thiruvaimur to Tilakavati Ammayar, she went to Thiruvazhuvur and she rendered her services to Lord Veeratanam, begging him, praying him, requesting him to bring back his brother who had joined the shaman religion. So she has been requesting Lord Shiva, kindly take him back, bring him back. He should do service to you. Our whole family hails only from Saivam. So she was begging him, and she was successful in her prayer, and only because of her prayer, Lord Veeratanam brought Upper back to the pavilion. So before that, he was very much fascinated by the principles of shaman, and shaman never accepts the existence of God. So that was the main great drawback, and it criticizes shaman samayam, samana madam, shaman Jains, otherwise Jains. They refuse the existence of Lordship. So the we are the contradictory factor of existence of God is the main thing we are worried about, and they were criticizing and abusing the Lord Shiva in Jain religion. Okay, now Adigai Veerataneshwaram, the temple, what is its significance? The significance of the temple is Lord Shiva burnt 3 forts made up of gold, silver, and then iron. 3 monsters. They actually they got all the boons only from Lord Shiva, and they were able to occupy 3 forts. The 3 monsters are called Vidyunmali, Dharagakshan, Kamalakshan. So these 3 monsters, after getting all the boons from Lord Shiva, they started ruling the whole world with their 3 forts. One fellow will be in gold fort, another fellow will be in silver fort, the third fellow will be in his iron fort. They are very powerful fort. See, the primary criterion of the forts is they can fly along with the fort. Like the forts are flyable, the monsters are flying wherever they like. They don't have any other vehicle. This fort itself will go to the space, to the sky, and it will fly wherever they like, and they will settle down, and all the people on the ground will be dead if the fort coming down and rests on the ground. What will happen to the people? They will all die. Likewise, people are suffering. People were suffering. They were tortured. They all went to Lord Shiva and requested him to safeguard. And Lord Shiva, as a matter of fact, he just burnt all the 3 forts by a simple love. By a simple love. Oh. So they were astonished. All these things were burnt to ashes in no minute. In no minute, he burned down everything. So no time takes for him to make, or no time takes for him to crush it down to ashes. So they all people understood his might. And that happened in this temple, this Thiruvazhuvur. That is a notion we are having. So people used to say, if you go to Pandruti Thiruvazhuvur, if you see the mud, it will be reddish. Because since it was burnt, the whole land is having red color mud. Only it is because of the being burnt by Lord Shiva, they will say. Anyway, so Thiruvazhuvur Veeratanam notifies, as a matter of fact, it is a notion of the bravery of Lord Shiva, that he burnt all the three castles. Is it not? You call it as a fort or a castle, it flies wherever they like, but all of them went down to ashes by Lord Shiva's a single laugh. Oh, that is why he is called Nahudal, Nakkan, Nahudal. Is it not? Okay. So that temple, Thiruvazhuvur, one of the temple, if you go to Thiruvazhuvur, you can see the artwork of the whole temple, and the whole temple is to be delightfully darshaned. And the Moolavar, that is the Sivalingam, is called Veerataneshwarar. And this Veerataneshwarar is a special one, people are saying, because he is called the Sodasa Lingam. That is, you can see in the bottom, the top portion of the Sivalingam, you can see 16 tribes. That is why it is called the Sodasa Lingam. That is 16 stripes of Bonam, Sodasa Lingam. The Pranavam can be split into 16 parts, and all the 16 parts are made up of a human being. So likewise, Atmalingam, Anmalingam, likewise, it is called the Sodasa Lingam. And in the main Karuvarai, that is the temple, if you see behind the Sivalingam, that is the Sivalingam, if you see behind him, that is, there you can see the wedding pose of Lord Shiva with Goddess Parvati. Skandar is also there, but nobody can see it so clearly. But this wedding pose is to be seen behind him, and people are enjoying the darshan of these whenever they go for darshan for the Moolavar. So this temple is of an important significance in the history of our Upper Swamigal, because Upper Swami or Marul Nikiyar, that is the name, he was named by his parents since he was a child. He was named as Marul Nikiyar. Irunnika Marul Nikiyar vandu avadharittar, and Deishekadar will sing. Okay, this Marul Nikiyar, when he joined Jain's religion, he was named as Dharmasenar. Once again, when he came back to Saivam, Lord Shiva named him as Tirunavukarasu. Only Adhiga Veerataneshwarar named him as Tirunavukarasu. Navukarasu enum ni nannamum ulagezhinum nayapura mannuga. The whole world let it call you Navukarasu. So the name was so priceless. The name is so precious. Name is also Tirunavukarasu, that name itself rings so many bells. So people are very fond of that name. And Tirunavukarasu Swamigal, then he was only called only Tirunavukarasu, and none other name was given to him. Except when Tiriyana Sambandha saw him, he was very much reluctant to call him as Tirunavukarasu. So he called him Appar. Appar means father. So spiritual father. So I do not know whether Tiriyana Sambandhar called his father Shobhada Irdiyar as father, daddy. No, Appa. There are no instances like that. But he called Lord Shiva Thiruthoniyappar, Appa, Amma, he called him. Next he called only Tirunavukara Swamigal as Appar. He called him Appar. So no other, he used to sing in his sonnets the Lord Shiva as Appar. Likewise, Appar Enguttradu in Tippunduruthi, he was inquiring about Tirunavukara Swamigal. So he is keen about calling either Lord Shiva as Appar or Tirunavukara Swamigal as Appar. So you just imagine how Tiriyana Sambandhar viewed Tirunavukara Swamigal, where he was having him, the height you must understand. So likewise, that Tirunavukarasu Swamigal, that Tirunavukarasu, the name was only bestowed upon him by Lord Shiva in Thiruvathigai Veeratanam. You understand? Okay, now that is why a lot of padhikams was offered by our Upper Swamigal for Thiruvathigai. He sang lot of songs, of course, but he dedicated many padhikams for Thiruvathigai Veeratanam. The first one is only for his first sonnet, his first padhikam is only for Thiruvathigai Veeratanam. Kuttaginapparu vilakkagilir kodumai pala seidana நான் அறியேன் கூற்றாயினவாறு விளக்ககிலீர் கொடுமை பல செய்தன நான் அறியேன் எற்றாய் அடிக்கே இரவும் பகலும் பிரியாது வணங்குவன் எப்பொழுதும் தோற்றாதென் வயிற்றின் அகம்படியே குடரோடு துடக்கி முடக்கியிட அற்றேன் அடியேன் அதிகை கெடில வீரட்டானத்துறை அம்மானே. On the banks of Kedila river, the temple was situated. So he refers Adigai Kedila Veeratanathurai Ammane. He is calling him as Permane, you just purify me. Just purify me. I am suffering a lot out of this pain in my stomach. It was given only by you, I know, for my sins. Forgive me and kindly relieve me out of this pain. He was summoning to Lord Shiva in Thiruvathigai Veeratanam. So Thiruvathigai Veeratanam, that Samharamurti, that Peruman, he would be curing the people out of their diseases, long pain diseases. They will be removed by his grace. So likewise, another feature, another important thing that I have to add is about that Thiruvathigai Veeratanam is I have to mention an incident in the life of our Sundaramurti Swamigal. Sundaramurti Swamigal was reluctant to enter the Thiruvathigai because of Upper Swamigal would have done lot of services with his hands. So I cannot come to the city. My feet cannot touch the ground where my Upper Swamigal hands touched. So that is how he viewed Any place you see in Thiruvathigai, no place is unleft without the touch of our Upper Swamigal. There is no place without the touch of our Upper Swamigal. That is why Sundaramurti Swamigal was reluctant to enter Thiruvathigai and to worship Thiruvathigai Veeratanam. But however, Thiruvathigai Veerataneshwarar came over there in his place. He came over to the place where there is Sittavada Madam. There will be one Dakshinamurti in this Madam. Vada means all, that is a banyan tree. There, Dakshinamurti is there. That Dakshinamurti is called Siddhar. That Siddhavada Madam. There he was sleeping and he was given the grace of Lord Adhiga Veerataneshwarar. That we can see as the important incident of Sundaramurti Swamigal in Thiruvathigai Veerataneshwarar. Okay, that's all about. If you want more details, a lot of details are available in lot of books about Thiruvathigai Veerataneshwarar, and you can go through them. You must not get convinced by the details you study in the book. Go in person to the temple, visit it, and have darshan of Adhiga Veerataneshwarar. Spend some time there. Our life is very short, so it is full of sufferings and miseries. So we should not devote all our time only to miseries and sufferings. They cannot be quenched or they cannot be removed. Every day there will be something to be suffered. So don't wait for all the sufferings to end. It will be the end of the world. So it can never happen. So please allocate some time, steal some time, go to all these temples, have darshan of them. You will have your own experience because you are a unique son of Lord Shiva. You are unique to him. He only knows your uniqueness. Even see, some parents know the uniqueness of their children. They may be having 3 or 4 children, but they will understand each children with a special character. They will say, my first son is like this, my second daughter is like this, my third son is like this. Likewise, they will know the intricacies and inner details of the children. But all these will be conforming only to the external details. But internally, each and every soul is understood only by the Lord Shiva. He knows the uniqueness. Every child is unique. So that is why every human being or every soul is going to get a unique experience in every temple. So I cannot say what experience you will get in Adhiga Veerataneshwaram when you go over there and stand before him and pray before him. You do it yourself and get yourself experience. Understand? Okay. Now let us go to the second Veeratanam. It is called Thiruvirkudi. Thiruvirkudi Veerataneshwaram. Thiruvirkudi is concerned about the monster Virkudi Veeratam. What happened there? As a matter of fact, the Salandrasuran monster was killed by Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva gave him the chakra and asked him to prove the might of the monster, because the monster was heading towards the Kailayam to fight with Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva appeared before him in the disguise of a teacher or a Vediyar, that is a priest. Likewise, he would be appearing before him and he would be asking the monster where you are going, but Salandrasuran would be replying, I am going to fight with Lord Shiva in Kailayam. And that priest will be asking him, if you go to Kailaya and fight with the Lord Shiva, you must have a lot of vigor, you must have a lot of power. I do not know whether you are equipped with that. But that fellow said, no, I am fully equipped, I am fully mightier, I can fight with the Lord Shiva. Then priest will be saying that if you are powerful, I will just hold a simple test for you. Will you, if you pass through the test, I can agree that you can go to Kailaya and fight with the Lord Shiva. To get the self-confidence, that fellow agreed for the test, and Lord Shiva, he would be giving him a chakra made out of the earth. He was using only his nail of the thumb finger of his feet, and he will be taking a chakra out of the ground, and that will be revolving with the full speed. And the priest was giving him the chakra and asking him to hold it above his head. The monster took the chakra from the priest, and unexpectedly it was very heavy, and monster felt it very heavy, but still he didn't want to fail in the test. So he was trying to hold it upon his head, but since he failed, that whole chakra will kill him. So that chakra later on was requested by Thirumal, Lord Krishna, to be awarded, and Lord Shiva gave him that chakra. Okay. Now this incident, which incident? The killing of Chalandrasuran. The killing of Chalandrasuran happened in Thiruvirkudi. In Thiruvirkudi. So this Thiruvirkudi is near on the end route, Thiruvarur to Mayavaram, Thiruvarur to Mailadurai. Thiruvarur to Mailadurai, in the route, end route, it has been located from Kangalajeri, 2 kilometers from Kangalajeri. It has been located. Geographically, it is there. So this place Thiruvirkudi is away by about a kilometer from Mailadurai station. Some or other you have to take some vehicle and to reach the temple. See, these three bravery actions of Lord Shiva are supposed to be happening in this place. For example, this place for Thiruvirkudi, this fellow was going to Kailayam. It is located in the northern side, and the priest intervened him, and he held a test for him. Okay, but that all happened only in the northern part of India, that we may be thinking. But why in south, in Tamil Nadu, we must be having a temple? That is the speciality, you must admit. That is, if you build a temple and if you install the Moolavar, and if you want him to be any one of the representations of these 8 the bravery actions, or any other thing which refers to the, for example, you can find a lot of Sannadhis here, Kasi Viswanatha Sannadhi. How can you call this as Kasi Viswanatha? It is in Kasi only. Viswanatha will be in Kasi. This Thirukkadaiyur Manikarnikai, the bravery action of kicking Yamadharman by the feet of Lord Shiva, by his feet, is not where it happened actually. It happened only in Kasi. Markandeya was there only. But in Thirukkadaiyur, we are saying that it has happened because we installed the temple under the notion that bravery action has happened only here, or that bravery action was carried out by Lord Shiva, and that Lord Shiva form is here. So you are affixing that particular bravery action or that particular feature of the Lord Shiva, it is being vested by the people who install there. So you can do it. If you, that is why our Tirugana Sambandar, Thirunavukarasar and all our saints, mentors, they will be saying that the God in the particular temple, he is the God you find in Kailayam. So the God in Kailayam, the God in our temple, in our local place, they are not different. They are one and the same. If you are not able to take so much of efforts to go over there and worship him, he is here. For your sake, he is here. So you can go here, you can go over here, you can make darshan, you can pray, you can offer your prayers as if you are standing before Kasi Vishwanatha, before this Vishwanatha. There are no difference, much differences. There are no much differences. We must understand. So that is why in Thiruvirkudi, Salandarasuran, that is, he was brought up by the Varunan, Salam. Salam means water. He was brought up, that is why he called Salandarasuran. So the Salandarasuran, the destruction of Salandarasuran, the killing of Salandarasuran was done by the bravery action of Lord Shiva, by making up a chakra. It happened only in Thiruvirkudi. That is why Thiruvirkudi is called one of the 8 bravery action temples, Veeratanam. You understand? So in Thiruvirkudi Veeratanam, this bravery action happened. As a matter of fact, Tirumular, what he will say is, this is only a symbolic representation. See, it's only a symbolic representation. So whenever there is a, suppose there is a switch box or an electrical connection or some power connection is available, people will say, they will put a symbol as like this, a lightning symbol they will say. What does it indicate? It indicates that there is a current factor is there. There is something, current box is there. You must be very careful. It's only an indication. You should not say current will be like this. Do you have the picture of a current like this? No. Current is pictureless. Unless otherwise you touch it, you cannot realize it. So that indication symbol only represents. So likewise, only representations you must understand, you must be able to understand. The representations. Tirumular says, Yengum kalandum yen ullattu edugira, anga mudalvan arumare odipal, பொங்கும் சலந்தரன் போர் செய்ய நீர்மையன் அங்கு விரர் குறித்து ஆழி செய்தானே. See, Salandaran is a fellow, a monster, living within ourselves. He is called our anger, nothing else. Our anger is the Asuran, Salandarasuran. He causes a lot of damages for us in this life. Our whole life, if you just analyze, you will be able to appreciate and understand that in lot of places, in lot of occurrences, in lot of circumstances, the things would have been spoiled only by our anger. Things would have been better if we were able to arrest our anger, if we were able to arrest our this quality, if we were able to suppress our anger at that time, things would have been different. So this demon, he says, Yengum kalandum en உள்ளத்து எழுகின்ற அங்க முதல்வன் அருமறை ஓதிபால் பொங்கும் சலந்தரன். So this God, this Shivam, if you just worship him, if you just pray him, at the right time he will come over and he will suppress or he will kill the devil, he will kill the monster within you. So likewise, Thirumalur says, it is only a representation, the Asuran, the monster, he is represented as a form of monster. You understand? So, that monster, Salandarasuran, was terminated, was killed by Lord Shiva with the chakra. So, he would have been using different weapons in different cases. Which weapon he will take, nobody knows. For example, for Yaman, he will be just kicking. In English, the people will be saying that somebody died means people will be saying he kicked the bucket. People will be saying likewise, Lord Shiva kicked the Yaman with his left foot. Left foot? No. Left foot thumb. Just a kick. The kickstart. That fellow died on the spot. Because so might Lord Shiva, he is capable, he is powerful of everything. So, Thiruvirkudi we just discussed, in which he appeared as a priest. As a priest. In Thiruvathigai, he took the war in the space. He took the war in the space to kill the three monsters flying in three forts. So, everywhere he will take a different forms. So, that represents, Sivalingam represents his manifestation, his particular deed. So, all these 8 temples are very special, out of which we were able to discuss 2 temples this time, and we will continue our discussion in the coming sessions, and we have to discuss about what we have to do is Thirupariyalur, Thirukorukkai, Thirukkadaiyur, Thiruvalur, Thirukovilur, Thirukandiyur. And there are a lot of messages, abundant number of messages are available about 7 temples and Shiva. Each and every temple is a riddle, is a puzzle. We will not be able to crack it down unless otherwise we submit ourselves. For example, the 8 temples, people will be saying, some mentors or some process will be saying that all these 8 temples represent the Sushama body. Sushama body. Sushama body, as a matter of fact, Manam, Buddhi, Ahankaram, and then 5 elements, Sushama Bhudangal, that is sky, and then air, and then fire, water, earth, is it that? So, likewise, if you take Tripuram, that is Thiruvathigai, it represents the sky, Ahaya. And if you take this Thiruvirkudi, it represents the air. So, likewise, it goes, and we will carry on with our discussion in future. Next week on 9th, we will again meet, and we will continue our discussion about this Veerataneshwaram. With this, I am just concluding my session with the chanting of 5-lettered mantra. I request you to follow me. Tiruchittambalam. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Tiruchittambalam, I take this opportunity to thank our couple, Qatar couple. They visited recently India. They came and met me in person. They were so kind, and their kids, they were very kind. I was delighted to meet them all in ICF, and they were kind enough to have a chat with me. And I pray the Lordship, the Almighty, to give them long life, long happy life, and long wealthy and healthy life for all the kids and the parents. Because their attitude to spread Saivam to the people who are not well versed with Tamil, so they insist these English lectures. I am just doing it. I do not know the result. God only knows. Lord Shiva only knows. He only gives the result. He is the entity. He is the authority to gauge, to give the benefits. Everything is reserved for him. He only decide which one is useful, which one is fruitful. Everything he will decide. Anyway, we are doing our duty. We are discharging our duty. The rest is in the hands of Lord Shiva. He will do whatever he wants. He will do everything for better. And I pray Lord Shiva to bestow his best grace upon this couple. And I request all the people to go through this, and also recommend to the people who are not well versed with Tamil. They may please recommend to go through this series of lectures, giving the basic details of our Saivam. With this, I am just concluding. Thank you. We will meet next week. That is on 9th October 2021. Thank you. Thiruchitambam. தென்னாடுடைய சிவனே போற்றி, எந்நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி, வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம்.